Okay, large intestine. AKA the colon. Your large intestine kind of acts like a picture frame for your small intestine. It's approximately 4 to 5 feet long. Whatever you eat, digestible or indigestible, whether you eat a burger or whether you eat, I don't know, a toy car, if it reaches your colon, your large intestine, basically your body has gotten out of it everything that it can, and whatever's left is going to be turned to poop or feces or stool, whatever you want to call it. Any remains of ingested material that reaches the large intestine is formed into feces or stool. You commonly call that poop. And peristaltic contractions will allow that feces to push forward until it exits your body and ends up in the toilet. Your large intestine does have a pretty important job here. I'm going to ask you if you can figure out what happens when it doesn't do this job. It mostly absorbs water from whatever's left inside of it. Again, whatever reaches your large intestine, your body can't get anything from it, so it's going to be pooped out. However, water is absorbed from your large intestine into your bloodstream, or from your poop in through your large intestine into your bloodstream is what I meant to say. So let's see if you might be able to answer this for me. Let's say that you are developing feces in your large intestine. It's forming, but the water that is present within it is not being absorbed by your large intestine. What will that result in? Diarrhea. Whenever your large intestine does not absorb the water from whatever is left in that large intestine, will have the water stay with whatever is left in the large intestine. And so when you go to the bathroom and if you have diarrhea, basically your large intestine did not absorb the water, and the water was allowed to stay with that indigestible material, and you have to excrete it from your body. That can be caused by illnesses, viruses, bacteria. It can be caused by stress, emotional turmoil. There's a lot of different reasons why it can happen, but diarrhea happens. Okay, let's check out the parts. What is that first quarter of your colon, which goes from your right side, right around your waist, up to about the bottom of your ribs? That is the ascending colon. I'm going to try to color coordinate some stuff here. And what is the beginning of your large intestine called at the bottom of the ascending colon? That is the cecum. The cecum is right here. And what is that little rat tail looking vestigial structure that hangs from your cecum? It is an appendix. It's on your right side. That's the appendix. Okay. Oops. Next, we have the transverse colon. It goes from right to left across your midsection. Next, we have your descending colon. Goes down your left side. Then we have your sigmoid, which kind of looks like an S. Okay. Following the sigmoid is the rectum. And then lastly, we have the anus. And that's pretty much your entire lower digestive system, the end of the digestive tract, your large intestine, guys. Its main job is to basically form feces and to absorb water from that feces so that you can have a nice, clean, healthy poop. There are some issues, however, I'm going to show you later today that can actually lead to some complications when it comes to your large intestine. Things like constipation, hemorrhoids, fissures, diverticulitis. I don't think I talked about appendicitis. However, I do want to mention appendicitis real quick. Appendicitis, I have an appendicitis question on your mastering that's due tomorrow. So appendicitis is when your appendix is infected with bacteria. Itis means inflammation, and then appendix, it means your appendix. And if you don't get this removed, your appendix could burst. And when I heard burst when I was younger in school, I would think, oh my gosh, it's going to blow up. Not like that. It's not going to blow up like a firecracker. What it's going to do is it's going to swell because it's infected. And a sign of infection is inflammation. And part of the inflammation process or response is swelling. So your appendix can swell up, and it can swell up to a size where it ruptures or kind of tears open. And when that happens, the bacteria that is infecting it can actually leak into other areas of your body and spread the infection. So that's why you want to get it removed and live on with your life. It has a very minor immune system function. You can live a perfectly normal life without it. Anyone here not have their appendix? No, I don't think I've had a lot of students this year that have had appendicitis. Okay, the last thing I want to talk to you all about today is the bacteria that lives in your digestive system. If you've taken AP Bio or regular bio, or even in middle school, you took some science classes, you may have heard of a biome. You don't need to write this part down yet, but I want to tell you what a biome is. A biome is a large area. Like the tundra is a biome. The rainforest is a biome. Grasslands, the savanna is a biome. It's a very large area where living and non-living things interact with each other. You have an internal biome. Your body is like a rainforest for other living creatures. Lance is one living creature. Morellis is one living creature. Gwen is one living creature. You guys are multicellular organisms. But living within your body, mostly your digestive system, are hundreds of quadrillions of bacteria. And you're not even charging them rent. They are all living inside of you, and you need them. They need you. You have a symbiotic relationship with these bacteria. Without them, digestion would be a lot tougher. So this is called your, now you can start to write. This is your bacterial microbiota. The average human adult is composed of, see if you guys can figure out how many cells these are. How many cells is that? Anna Sophia? 100 trillion. You got hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions. You guys are about 100 trillion cells. Emma is one human, one organism, 100 trillion cells. Here's the part that still blows my mind sometimes. For every one of Emma's cells in her body, there's 100 bacteria. To give you an idea, here's an Emma cell. It's a pretty big size cell. Here's bacteria, there's bacteria, there's bacteria, there's bacteria, there's bacteria, there's bacteria. They're so much smaller. Remember that we are eukaryotes. Our cells are big, they're complex, they're sophisticated. What type of cells are bacteria? They're prokaryotes. They're smaller, they're tinier, they're easier, they're more simplistic, but they're highly efficient. And so it's kind of like me saying, what can I fit more of in this classroom? Elephants or cockroaches? Easy. Their cockroaches are smaller. You can fit more of them. That's why so many bacteria can fit in your body versus your own cells. Bacteria is a fraction of the size of your cells. So you have 100 times more bacteria in the human body than there are cells of the human body. Whenever you brush your teeth, you have bad breath, your teeth feel kind of fuzzy, that's bacteria. You brush your teeth, try to kill them. Some bacteria is good. A lot of the bacteria actually is good. Some are bad. Bacteria tend to get a bad rap. You take antibiotics, you kill the bacteria, you're healthy again. I just said the word antibiotic. What is the opposite of an antibiotic? A probiotic. There's yogurts and there's foods and there's other supplements that are probiotics that actually encourage and nourish your gut bacteria. And there's a procedure I wish I could show you. I can't find a video of it. It is called a gut bacteria transplant. Bacteria stink. If any of you decide to go into medicine and you want to be a doctor or you want to be a biologist or a veterinarian or something like that, you will need to take the class called microbiology. It is an undergrad class. Typically juniors and seniors take it. I remember taking it. And it's just like any other science class where you go to lecture twice a week. You learn about all the stuff, you go to lecture hall. It's like this big auditorium, 200 or 300 students in there. That's easy. And then you go to lab once a week. And in the lab, there's about as many students in here as there is in a lab, about 20 students or so. You walk in the lab, and I'm telling you, you can smell the classroom from a mile away because bacteria just stink. When you fart, that smell is bacteria in your gut. Poop stinks because of bacteria. If you've ever walked into a bathroom after someone has gone number 2 in there, you're like, woo, oh man, that's not that person. That's the bacteria inside that person. Well, if you've ever walked in the mud after a fresh rain and the mud just stinks, that is also bacteria in the mud. So bacteria just smells bad. So when you walk into the microbiology lab, it'll hit you. But you get used to it. Everybody has to get used to it. But I'm just telling you, when you guys go to college, you said you want to go into medicine, you want to go into medicine. If you have to take this class, you're going to remember, oh, my high school teacher said it's going to stink. And you walk in there, oh, he was right. You get used to it. You just adapt. But that first punch, it's strong. Bacteria in your gut accounts for 2 pounds of your own body weight. So if Lance gets on the scale and he weighs 150, Lance is actually 148. Lance and his little tenants that are living inside of him are 150 combined.
Is it like average is 2 pounds?
About, and that's a lot for microorganisms. Yeah. There's more than 1,000 different species. One that I know you've heard of before is E. coli, Escherichia coli. So why do we need it? Well, they do some things that we naturally can't do by ourselves. One of which is fermenting carbohydrates. Our body cannot ferment carbohydrates as well as the bacteria that live in our gut. They can help access a lot of digestive nutrients from carbs that we cannot get on our own. That's one of the things that they do for us. They ferment carbohydrates, but here's the downside. They produce gas, farts. It's all natural. It's just part of the deal. Nikita, why is it that when you blink, when you breathe, when you sneeze and you cough, it's like whatever, natural processes, but when you fart, we're all like, ew. It's as natural as breathing, huh? But no, I'm asking as far as etiquette is concerned. Why do people always get grossed out when you fart, but when you breathe and blink and cough and sneeze, or if you chew and everyone's just like, oh, that's just natural. But when farting, oh, that's so offensive. That's probably why. It's the smell. What if it's just loud and not smelling?
Then it's probably better.
Are you hold it in or better out than in kind of guy?
I prefer not to answer.
You plead the fifth?
Yeah.
Do you know what that means, plead the fifth?
Yeah, it's
like okay.
You don't have to incriminate.
Correct. All right. Another key act that they do for us is vitamin synthesis. They help synthesize vitamin K, or excuse me, vitamin B and vitamin K. Without the bacteria in your gut, you would have a hard time getting these vitamins. So the last part, you may have wondered, perhaps this hasn't crept in your mind, but I'm about to introduce it to you. You have an immune system. Your immune system is supposed to keep whatever isn't supposed to be in your body out of your body or kill it. So why, oh why, are these bacteria allowed to live inside of you without consequence from your white blood cells? It's an interesting question. So here's your last entry for today. The immune system versus gut bacteria. Your gut bacteria and your immune system have a treaty. They have an agreement. They are capable of living in dynamic equilibrium. Dynamic means it is ever changing, but it is balanced. If you guys go out to college and you have a college professor ask you, what does dynamic mean? If you say unbalanced, they're going to be impressed. or ever changing. Correction, dynamic means ever changing. That's what I meant to say. So here's the deal. So long as bacteria stay in your digestive system, they're safe. They're free to go. They won't be attacked. But as soon as they leave the digestive system, dead. So this is the deal. The immune system destroys any bacteria that may breach the mucosal barrier. The mucosal barrier is the lining of your digestive system. There's a condition called a perforated bowel, where a part of your intestine actually rips open for some reason. Maybe it was an injury like in a car accident or a football tackle, or I don't know, but your intestine actually rips open. And that means digested material like your poop or the bacteria in your poop or your gut can leak into your abdominal cavity. That is basically your immune system's green light to kill it. It left the digestive system. The treaty is off. All right. We will stop there with the recording.